Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Asshole podcast, Super Bowl edition. It's the big Super Bowl Sunday.
It is.
Sarah, you're tweeting for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably just going to tweet about the halftime show. I just don't feel like anyone gives a fuck about the game, to be honest. Least of all me.
Well, in your circles, I would expect. It's quite a popular event otherwise. Or are you actually...
The teams that are playing are it's like, yeah, if you really like Tom Brady, then you're watching it. If you like Patrick Mahomes, you're watching it. But it's not like a huge deal, I don't feel like.
I literally, of course I know Tom Brady. I didn't know Patrick Mahomes, but I made a meme at work, and so now I know the names. I made a meme where we took it was like a Super Bowl discussion, and then we took every time they said Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, replaced it with Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are the two most popular cryptocurrencies. Anyways.
Nice.
Meme life. Sarah, hit us with the juice if you got any.
Hashtag
still going
life.
Steady. Hell yeah. You still going steady with Insta Boy?
Yeah, we're going to hang out on Valentine's Day. Who knows what will happen? I mean, I don't think we have any plans because it's like I'm not doing indoor dining ever, even though it does open that day. And I don't feel like sitting outside in the cold. It's just like, why do that when I can be inside in his apartment? So I don't know what our actual plan is, but it's probably just hanging out.
Very nice. I like it. I love to hear it. Love that it's going steady and smoothly.
Yeah. Smooth so far. No, I feel like I told you this. We were like, he jokingly asked what our first fight would be about. And I was like, I don't know. Something about The Office or something probably, or Parks and Rec.
Well, that sounds very casual and fun.
Yeah. No complaints.
That's exciting, Sarah.
Thanks.
I think a lot of people are invested in this. People are fucking sick. We actually got a 5-star review.
Wow.
And that was good, but they were sort of like, here's what they said. I listen every Monday, easily my favorite podcast. Thank you, dear listener.
Yay.
I started listening because Sarah, but I've grown to love Danny and their dynamic.
Okay.
I can empathize with Danny going through a tough breakup, and I'm sure it's therapeutic to talk it out. But I have to say, while I'm happy for Danny, I love the pod much more before it started down this semi-heavy self-help path. Also, let Sarah lives. It seems pretty clear that talking about her relationships on air isn't her favorite thing. AITA.
Wait, the review was an AITA?
It actually was.
That's excellent. Oh my God, good job, whoever submitted that. And thank you for listening. Yay. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the podcast definitely didn't start out with like this self-help sort of bent, although I think it's kind of inherent to the ethos of Am I the Asshole as a subreddit. I like that we're reading like some self-help books and trying to incorporate that more, because otherwise we're just espousing our opinions and never really challenging them in a concrete or like quantifiable way.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a valid note. It's definitely been some very heavy episodes.
For sure.
So, I stopped reading self-help books. So thank you, reviewer. But yeah, I mean,
because they're pretty hit or miss, honestly.
They are. A lot of them are bullshit, and a lot of them are just kind of like things you can apply. They're like interesting models, but it's kind of, look, I want to keep it light for a second to appease this person. And let me say, I was texting Sarah, I'm like addicted. I actually, this isn't even, I have a cookie addiction. I am the cookie monster. So what you guys got to know, and we've talked around this before, but I think I'm really starting to understand the business of cookies here. There's a famous cookie place in New York called Levain, and they make chocolate chip walnut cookies. They're widely considered to be the best cookies you've ever had. This company called Chip NYC, but then they rebranded to Chip City, something that upset Sarah and I greatly.
We hate it.
They said, oh, you make a giant cookie? How about we're going to make 20 different kinds of giant cookie?
Yeah, and like the most imaginative, like off-the-wall flavors.
Absolutely. They do chocolate chip. They do funfetti, my personal favorite. They do cinnamon roll.
My personal favorite.
And I'm having, I don't know, 5 of these cookies a week. They're probably 600 calories each.
Many.
Anyways, these crazy motherfuckers, these absolute psychopaths, these cookie mad scientists, made an everything bagel cookie.
Yeah, it's bad.
And it tastes like an everything bagel with sweet cream cheese, but otherwise 100% like an everything bagel.
The thing is, like, I could see what they were kind of going for, and I love a savory cookie, but I really feel like they seriously put like the onion mix part of the everything bagel seasoning onto the cookie.
Yep.
And like, that's never what you want. If it was poppy seeds and sesame seeds and a sweet cream cheese, cool. But like, I do
went a
not
little too
want
far.
onion in there.
You're right. There's a little onion in there.
It's
I had that
gross.
exact thought.
It's so bad.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
It's too
Chip. I
much.
love you and I love your cookies except for that one.
They've got a lot of really solid cookies. Personally, I think the only time they lose to Levain is on chocolate chip. I think the walnuts beat it, but I have a cookie addiction. So there's your lighter
Yeah,
fare.
you really do.
I do. I love these cookies. I guess to go on my relationship path here, I guess it was a mutual breakup. I don't really know. I guess I was kind of pushing her away, but my exclusive thing ended. So I'm single, back on the market, baby. Hit me up on Insta, folks. So we kind of split. We were fighting a lot. The kind of straw that broke the camel was she had gotten me this gift 2 weeks ago, but she finally just gave it to me, and it was a $65 gift. And I simply noted that I had found it odd and a little bit like too much for me. And this really hurt her feelings and bothered her. And so, we had kind of been in this cycle of me hurting her feelings. And so I was like, basically, I don't know what's going on with us, but I think it's fair to say I'm probably just not ready to be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Seems like the vibes are off.
The vibes were off. I'm also like, I think I'm really not ready to be involved with someone in a serious way. I just can't. I know everyone's been telling me, including you, and I was like, yeah. But now I'm like, no, they're right.
Yeah, whatever. I won't say I told you so. But hopefully you are learning from this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I didn't believe you or agree. I thought she was, worth it, and she wanted to go exclusive very quickly, and I went with it, and it was a risky move, and I even told her rather jarringly that it wasn't ideal, but I went with it, and I think it was just too hard, too fast. I'm a big fan of her, so I kind of hope potentially we could take another swing at it down the road, but we'll see what happens, folks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think people I was talking about this with my sister, and she was saying how just being in a relationship, even getting into a relationship is so hard because you have to like someone, they have to like you back. You have to both be in a good place for it. You have to want the same things in life, and all this stuff has to really line up. I think people get very focused on the mutual liking of each other, which is obviously crucial, that they forget that timing actually is super important. You can totally meet the right person at the wrong time. And when you get into those situations, it's kind of hard to sort of force it if you're not really, your heart's not in it.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think what's tough for me is I have a lot of fears and stuff that I think are overblown. These are maybe traumas from my last relationships. And so I'm very sensitive. And going back to this review, it is semi-heavy self-help. It's even full-on heavy.
Yeah.
And a lot of these fears, I think, are very rooted in the relationships I was in. And I'm happy that I kind of have the vernacular and the awareness. But I think right now, just my mindset is a little bit defensiveness detected. And then I freak out, and it's just a little too much, and I just need time to kind of get over that.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine.
All right, people. I'm trying to bring extra energy and positivity because this reviewer is just, they're like, oh, this is semi-heavy. Well, you know what's not semi-heavy, people? By the way, thank you for the 5 stars, reviewer. Rating and reviewing us on iTunes. It really helps the podcast grow. Please join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. We're having call-in shows. We do extra bonus apps. I give the juiciest juice. And if you don't want juicy juice or semi-heavy self-help stuff, you just got to tell me, and we'll put whatever you want on the Patreon. I could talk about cookies. I could talk about how I hurt my back running. Okay, I don't have that much to talk about, people.
The next review is going to be 4 stars, and it's I like the Reddit situations, but I don't like the heaviness or the cookie talk. The talk
Lose
about
the
this
cookies.
one slightly niche New York cookie place.
I put in the fucking description description how to skip to the first situation, people. I give you the option.
Funny.
We're going to play a little bit of guess the verdict here. Sarah, AITA, for letting my pregnant girlfriend exclude my sister from her baby shower because of her superstitions.
Okay. I don't know. It's a pregnant girlfriend. I feel like she makes the calls. It's kind of shitty to do. I'm going to say he's not the asshole for letting her do whatever she did.
You would think, but you'd be wrong.
Damn it.
So here's the story. OP, first of all, opens with a joke that the root of her superstitions are that she stepped on a crack and her dad had a heart attack. But
Wait,
apparently the pregnant girlfriend, the origin of her superstitions is that she had stepped on a crack and her dad had a heart attack.
Like the same day?
Sarah, haven't you heard that? Step on a back, break your mother's back. Dad had a heart attack.
Yes, but it's like, you can't say, oh, I stepped on a crack and 6 years later my dad had a heart attack and therefore...
No, it's a joke. It's a joke. OP opened his post with a joke. It was funny until I had to explain it.
Okay.
Anyway, something like that happened, and the pregnant girlfriend really thinks shit like that. And how that actually plays out is she wants to exclude sister from her baby shower. Why? Because sister had a miscarriage. She sees this as an omen.
That's fucked up.
She sees it as an omen.
No, that's terrible.
It gets so weird because then sister and OP are talking and sister's like, yeah, I don't even want to go because her and Prego GF have high school drama. OP, dumbass, then says, good, because you weren't even invited because Prego GF, she basically thinks you're cursed.
Okay, this is a roller coaster. It went from like, you were the asshole to no assholes here, back to I think you're the asshole.
Well, Rhino the Bouncer agrees, getting the top comment. Well, actually, the top comment was no verdict and just said see a therapist. But YTA, it's your baby too. This baby shower is for your kid as much as it is hers. You get to have a say in who attends and who doesn't, and your say should rank higher than superstitions, which I think is true.
But I feel like that's not... Is that even the issue, or is the issue that like nobody was upset and then he decided to bring up the truth, which now made someone upset?
Yeah, I don't know. We get into dangerous territory. I don't know if telling the truth about someone else makes you an asshole. It certainly makes you fucking stupid. It's a mistake.
Yeah, it's definitely a mistake. Okay, interesting. AITA for not buying my stepdaughter a phone when I bought one for my daughter.
AITA for not buying my stepdaughter a phone when I bought one for my daughter. Well, there could be any myriad of reasons. I could see how that would cause tension. I'm going to just do a bunt here and go NTA.
Damn it, you're right.
Yes.
Okay, so OP and her husband have a blended family, and they agreed at the beginning not to interfere with one another's parenting. So OP and her ex got her daughter, who's 17 and just started a job. They got her a cell phone as a gift. The stepdaughter, who's 15, threw a fit, and the current husband says OP should have gotten the stepdaughter the same phone too. And OP's like, no, we talked about this, not to interfere, blah, blah, blah. Top Reddit comment, NTA, from Miss Murder Pants, which is not my username.
Ooh.
But I love
Surprising.
OP's daughter has a job and is 17. Stepdaughter does not and is 15. Stepdaughter needs to realize that you don't always get the same gift. So yeah.
A learning lesson.
Yeah, it's like, it's not, they had said in the comment, like something about like, this is not your grandma giving you all like sweaters at Christmas or something. You can't expect the same gift all the time.
Very true. AITA for not forgiving and forgetting something from 10 years ago.
No, not the asshole.
You would think... Here's the thing.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
Insane. It was YTA. Here's the thing. This is one of the craziest things I've ever read. We should probably do this for real. So the kind of backstory is that OP and sister-in-law are friends. This was actually very similar to the previous one because basically the sister-in-law and OP were friends before she got together with sister-in-law's brother. You with me?
No, start over.
OP and this sister are friends.
Okay.
And then OP meets the brother. OP and the brother are then basically having a baby. So sister-in-law, she takes that personally. She feels abandoned somehow. And at first when I was reading this, I'm like, oh, well, sister-in-law is a psycho. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's not like, you should be happy for your brother and you should be happy that your friend is married to your brother. What's wrong with you?
Right.
I was thinking this way, but some of the examples that OP uses against sister-in-law are like very odd. One is she was always passive aggressive and low-key angry. So you're like, okay, that sounds bad. If we brought baby clothes into the house, her face would get all stormy. And she'd
Was she
sigh and
upset?
huff.
Like, was she having a miscarriage?
No, this isn't the pregnant person. This is the sister.
Okay,
If
so she would just get upset when they would bring baby clothes home?
Yes, that's what OP claims. OP claims if she heard him and I talking about baby names, she'd yell at us to shut up, claiming we were being too loud. And I'm like,
okay.
You're not even ready for this. Then OP drops this. When we had a 3D ultrasound done, we sent her the link to watch it when it was happening, and she decided to nap instead. That's a mark against her. I'm like, nobody gives a fuck about your 3D ultrasound. You expect her to watch it? She was tired, and that's a mark against her?
Yeah,
insane. So, more or less, I guess, OP just wanted an apology, and she never got it. I think OP is a maniac.
Oh my God, yeah. I want to read this whole thing. Put it in the group.
Yeah, I'll put it in the group. Scrappy8350 with the top verdict. YTA, how can you not see that she was extremely upset when she found out her friend was banging her baby brother? Legal part aside, he was a minor and you were an adult.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? See, this is funny because we actually had a conversation today over text because Danny and I don't have lives. We just talk about this subreddit. We talked about how like 90% of the time people include their ages in the submission and it's like always irrelevant. But this time it wasn't.
Oh, I see. It's in an edit. That's why I miss it. I was 18 and he was 16 when we started dating and we got pregnant a year later. I don't know. I mean, that's not illegal, but
yeah,
it's
that's
weird.
not like they're like Romeo and Juliet laws, like 16, 18 is. It's not like she was, 24.
It's weird. It's all weird. But I think, yeah. So anyway, it went YTA. So you have 0 points and I have 1 point. That means I win by default. But let's round out with a final round.
Let's go. AITA for sending a cease and desist letter to my daughter.
Huh. God, I mean, it seems so asshole-ish, but why would you do such a thing unless she was being an asshole? I mean, but then again, you already got it, not the asshole. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with not the asshole, and she is.
Ooh, no. That's what I thought too. This situation is juicy. This is another example of the ages actually really matter. And I kind of do want to put this one in the group too, just because it's crazy. So OP is 51, and she found out that her 19-year-old daughter has a blog and a YouTube channel, about 2,000 subscribers. She started making videos about how she's estranged from both her parents and how she hates OP's partner of 4 years, who is a 27-year-old male. So in the content that the daughter posted, she says that the boyfriend is bipolar and would just and she just described him like going through periods where he was very amicable and gregarious, and then other times where he would sleep in the guest room and close all the curtains. And in the video, she claims that her mom hid his mental illness from the world. The mom finds the video, I guess, calls the daughter, and is mad that she publicly labeled the boyfriend bipolar. He was never diagnosed as bipolar. His therapist just thought that he had anxiety and a pattern of avoidance. So OP wanted her to take the video down. The daughter said no. OP ended up sending her a cease and desist regarding her slandering my boyfriend's state of mental health. Top comment. Anchovy _ mac and cheese. Sounds disgusting, but a good username. So you were 47. So you were 47 with a 15-year-old daughter when you started dating a 23-year-old. My God, how uncomfortable for her that you brought in somebody so close to her age. I'm having a hard time believing that your daughter didn't have a problem with this, yet you never mentioned in the post. And then she goes on, whatever. And she says, the Reddit commenter says, if she hasn't named the guy in the video, she's not doing anything wrong. This post is disturbing. It sounds like you're exposing her to an unhealthy situation because you were putting your needs ahead of hers, YTA.
Interesting. A lot of ways we could go with that. I mean, I think I've been slammed before for like saying that relationships like this are like inherently wrong. It's certainly much easier.
Like, you'll get slammed for anything, but this is one thing that I'm fine getting slammed for. Like, I do think that, relationships with significant age differences like this one, you're not talking about someone being 40 and someone else being 60. Like, you're talking about one person who started dating in their early 20s and this other woman who is late 40s. So if you want to come for me over thinking that's weird, then that's cool, but I am going to stick with this opinion.
Well, I like that you're there because I mean it's much easier to do with a man where I'm like, you nasty, nasty man. You're 45 dating a 23-year-old. Like, what's wrong with you? But with a woman, I thought you would be a little more touchy. But you're right.
No,
it is
and
odd.
that's a double standard. And I do resent the double standard. And I don't know. It's completely bogus. So absolutely not.
Well, I appreciate that, Sarah. It's very reasonable, and nonetheless, I am the winner today of Guess the Verdict. Guys, please rate, review, and subscribe. Really helps the pod, helps us get more listeners, helps me peddle my self-help bullshit and my cookies. I want to be a cookie consultant. That's my dream career now. I just go in and I'm like, your cookies suck, and they give me $1,000.
Oh my God, yeah, just go DM Chip.
People, we got one heck of a juicy ad for you today. Our second story of the day, AITA for calling my brother an insecure, testicle-grabbing, chauvinist man-baby over his comments about my wife's makeup.
I love it.
But first, AITA for pulling the "my husband is the CEO" card on a nurse. My husband of a year is the CEO of a local hospital, and he has been for 17 years. His uncle is previously on the hospital's board. I, 27F, have a friend, 27F, who suffers from lupus. It's been very hard. See, yeah, Sarah, this is a great observation that the ages don't matter probably, and the genders. Like, oh, she's a female who suffers from lupus. Oh, that changes everything.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, you're both 27. All right. This doesn't matter to me. I feel like the only times the age really matters is when it's like a big relationship age difference or like a high school shit where I'm like, why are you guys acting like you're 14? Because you're 14.
Very true. Anyway, her friend has lupus. It's been very hard because her family's across the country. Her fiance is deployed. Other day, she's feeling faint. Not long after my friend started having chest pain, so we drove her to the hospital. When we got there, the nurses started doing, whatever nurses do, and they wheeled her away.
The nurses be nursing.
Nurses be nursing. I got stopped by a nurse when I tried to follow. She said to let the medical staff do their thing. I left with my other friend, but came back a couple hours later when she texted me and said she's okay. She's just resting. So I went back to the hospital, made it past the initial crowd of nurses, some of whom I recognized from before. Oh, no, I recognize at hospital events. Okay, so I guess she means like with her hubby in the past. And toward the direction where I knew my friend would be. I got stopped outside that area by a nurse, and she says, sorry, no visitors. I explained that I'm the closest thing to family for my friend, that I had a responsibility to make sure that she was okay and that she's vulnerable right now, and I'm basically her advocate, medical advocate. The nurse cut me off, says she can't make an exception for me. This entire combo started out politely, but suddenly I find that both our voices are raised, and she says basically, look, there's nothing you can say.
I wonder why.
There's nothing you could say to convince me otherwise, and starts to walk away. I follow after her and finally pull my husband is the CEO. She looks kind of shocked when I offer to call my husband. She starts doing something for a patient, and I get my husband on the phone, and he talks to the nurse, and finally I got an okay with my friend as long as I leave by 6 p.m. The nurse looked ruffled and upset. I finally got to see my friend and comfort her and left before 6 as promised. When my hubby gets home, he says that at least I didn't insist he come down to meet me where I was, but that I should have just called him from the get-go and that there were calmer ways to go about this. He also said he hoped my friend was okay and that he's happy to help. AITA.
Oof. That poor nurse.
This is very interesting. I'm going to just go ahead and read Leticia's comment because I always forget about the pandemic, even though it dominates our entire life. Leticia writes,
no, it's true.
Yes, Karen. YTA, there are plenty of people who can't have their families with them even while they took their last breaths, all because of this pandemic. You're not her family. Nobody gets to go back. You're not an exception. You have no right to use your husband to satisfy your self-entitlement.
Yeah, I mean, my friend almost had to give birth by herself like that. Because she was due in April. So, I mean, this is bonkers. This is so entitled.
Yeah, I mean...
To just, like, throw your weight around. It's obnoxious.
It is, but, her friend is sick. And, I mean, it doesn't come from a place of Karen. It's not like she's, whining about the store policy.
Yeah, she's, like, Karening for someone else's benefit. But I just think it's obnoxious to throw your weight around like this. They're not being arbitrary. Like, the rules in this situation exist for a reason.
No, she did it. The way she did it was, completely unacceptable. Alex S. YTA, I understand how frustrating it is to not be able to go back, but you're not above the rules, or you shouldn't be. I have a friend who wasn't allowed to be in the room when his kid was born because of COVID. It's a reasonable policy, and it's stupid of her to not recognize the hospital rules are, obviously heightened during COVID. And
it's also not like, oh, you're never allowed to visit her. It's just like visiting hours aren't right now. You have to come back in a few hours. And the friend was resting and fine.
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah,
no, she said no visitors. Did she say you can visit later?
In the top, it says, I leave with my other friend, but come back. Oh, wait, never mind. I misread it. Sorry. I thought the nurse said come back a couple hours later. Never mind.
Courtney has said, yes, you're an asshole. The nurse is just doing her job, which is outline what is legal, what is not. You made her compromise legality because of fear of reprisal. You effing suck. I guess. I don't know if it's illegal.
Yeah, I didn't think so far into the illegal stuff because it's kind of like if you're getting the okay from the CEO, like they're not going to fire you. I mean, that would be pretty evil.
Right.
To like force someone to do something and then turn around and fire them for doing that thing.
Lindsay M., I'm a healthcare worker. We hate when people like you say this shit. It makes me want to help you less. You don't deserve something more than somebody because of what your husband's job is. It's true. There's a reason. There's a policy. And then it's not really, I think if she had done this the discreet way, right? I think if she had said, hey, baby, my girl is in the fucking hospital and it's your hospital. So can you just let me get up there? But the fact that she pulled it as a card, I think is the sin because it's like, look, it obviously has to be the policy that people can't go up there because then you got a whole throngs of people. It's a whole thing. For one person to go in, it seems perfectly plausible that it could be executed safely. It's the policy is what's so key.
Well, I guess the question is it like the nurse said no visitors, which is different than like, sorry, you can only visit if you're family.
Yeah, there's no visitors because of COVID. That's the policy.
So if there's no visitors at all, then I don't think that I don't think any degree of finessing justifies someone breaking such a hard and fast rule that exists for a very obvious reason.
Well, it's a rule for health reasons, right?
Yeah.
But it's like...
So you're not exempt from health concerns because you are married to the CEO of the hospital.
Well, yes, but the policy exists because you don't want people coming in and out of the hospital when you got COVID. Likewise, if it was a bar...
She could have COVID.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well,
like, what's the difference between her and just some random person off the street who's like...
Well, it's a numbers game, Sarah. It's like this, right? Imagine you know the owner of a bar and he lets you hang out in his office, and that's fine because you know him. That doesn't mean anyone from the public can hang out in the office. Something's going to get stolen or something, right? It's like the whole thing about it is that there can be exceptions and it can be done reasonably safely. It's just that the policy, I don't think it's wrong to exploit a policy like this, especially for your fucking friend who's sick and has no family there. This is the same logic, Sarah. It's the same logic of people being like, well, I paid back my college loan, so you shouldn't get your college for free. It's like, well, yeah, it was horrible.
I disagree with that logic.
You disagree with them, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you are using it as analogous, and you're agreeing with one person and disagreeing with the other person.
I'm saying that the problem was that this got emotional, that she made a nurse feel shameful, that she ripped the card out in a move of ego. Had she soberly called her husband and said, babe, I know it's your hospital. Can you talk to some people and just see? Because my friend is here. She doesn't have any family, and it's your fucking hospital. So can I do this? Then I would say, no, I don't think that makes her an asshole. I think there's reasonable accommodations that can potentially be met for the person whose hospital it is.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty Karen-y.
It is. Well, the Karen-y aspect is being like, my name's the CEO. That's the Karen side. Well, that's
Karen-y, but it's also like Karen-y to just think you're above the rules.
Well, she is above the rules. Her husband's a CEO.
Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised you have this opinion because you tend to Karen, but we just are going to disagree on this. Respect.
Her husband's the CEO. What about, if her daughter wants to do a photo shoot in one of the hospital beds? Like, yes, they're going to do that. He's the season charge.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it like
hospital.
Right. Just because people are going to break the rules. Wow, now I sound like a fucking narc.
Lindsay B, nurse here. All the medical people disagree with me, so maybe I'm full of shit. Lindsay B says, nurse here, and you're the largest freaking a-hole. We're overworked, exhausted, and frankly traumatized over the current sitch. And then people like you come along and friggin' cause a scene when we're literally just following policy that your husband signed off on and might fire someone who doesn't follow. Well, that's my point, is that he can amend the policy because he is the CEO and he can make an arbitrary exception because he's the... I mean, I guess that kind of would make him the asshole. Then he's playing games and the nurses have to juggle all this bullshit.
Yeah, don't push this onto the nurses because you want to be above the rules. Like
because I would want the same exception to be made for a nurse, right? If you work at the fucking hospital and your mother is dying there and the nurse is like, hey, can I be with my mom even though technically the rule is no guest? I would say, yes, of course, you work here.
This is the problem. Then it spirals out of control. Then you're like, oh, I know a nurse. Oh, I know this person.
No, it doesn't have to spiral.
Why do you think it's like this?
The slope isn't that slippery. It's not always as slippery. Don't slippery slope my ass. Chelsea V.
I'm gonna slippery slope.
Hey!
The problem is anybody going into a hospital, like it's an automatically emotionally charged situation. Like you're not just talking about walking into like a bar. Everyone's gonna be emotionally charged. Everybody wants an exception to be made for them, and everybody's gonna try to pull out their best argument. So like, it can slippery slope pretty easily.
I'm sorry that you are against the medical staff. I think if you're medical staff at a hospital, you can make an exception. I trust that you can execute it safely.
But this woman is even less of medical staff because she's not.
Well, she's the CEO.
I would rather but that doesn't mean anything. Like, I would rather make the exception for people who actually are working at the hospital.
So,
like
the
putting
CEO
their lives
doesn't
on the
mean
line
anything?
versus this lady who's just married to the CEO of the hospital.
Well, he's the CEO. She doesn't even see him. He works his 80 hours a week. You know what it is to be the CEO of a hospital? It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter because we don't even disagree about the situation. We're on a whole different note. Everyone's calling OP a Karen. There's one dissenter, Julie F, NTA. If you're the only family that person has, then she needed you. Family isn't just blood. If visiting hours are over by 6 for family and you left when that time frame came, I don't see anything wrong. You did what was needed to be the support your friend needed. Top Reddit comment, YTA, there's a pandemic, hospitals aren't allowing visitors. You pulled a card, I got this shiny ring from someone above you on a nurse during a pandemic, a tired, hardworking nurse just doing her job, trying to protect everyone. You abuse power to violate pandemic protocol. See, that's not my issue. My issue is you were emotional and you stressed the nurse out, and this could have been done discreetly and effectively, and I think it was a reasonable policy exception, which I think that is a coherent concept, and it should also be extended to the first responders. Sarah doesn't agree, but I think we do agree on one thing. AITA for pulling the my husband is a CEO card on a nurse. I think we do agree. YTA.
We do agree.
AITA for urging you to rate, review, and subscribe. Please give us 5 stars on iTunes and tell us more of what you want. Instead of saying, Danny, stop being so heavy, nobody cares about your cookie consulting and your breakups. Tell us, what do you want? What have you liked? That helps me more, because now you're just sending me into a nightmare of self-hatred. No, just say whatever you want. But listen, do get on our Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. AITA for calling my brother an insecure, testicle-grabbing, chauvinist man baby over his comments about my wife's makeup. That's the actual quote. Well, great.
I love it.
I'm still pissed as hell, but maybe I went too far. My bro and I are in our late 30s. We get along fine most of the time. But my brother doesn't do well in a lot of situations. He says inappropriate things. He gets opinionated, yells. He just doesn't seem to understand tact or when to let things go. Our wives are best friends. Whoa. They talk almost every day on FaceTime. That's cute. My wife is an ex-model actress, local. That's very funny. Local. That's hilarious. And very good with makeup. She's in her mid-30s. We have 3 kids, and she doesn't wear much makeup anymore. But she got some as a gift for Christmas and decided she wanted to get more. Apparently, she's been buying cheap stuff and wanted to splurge on some good shit. That good makeup. Anyway, She's been testing it out all month, buying more here and there, doing crazy eyeshadow. Honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about. She looks great all the time. She's gorgeous without makeup. She's really talented with it, though, and she's having a lot of fun. I tease her since she works from home and she's wearing pajamas, but her makeup looks like she's at a nightclub. I think it's cute and funny. All right, we get it. You love her. You know, shut up. My brother thinks she's doing it because she's cheating or she wants to cheat. What the fuck?
Dumb.
He called me this morning to say he's concerned because he's seen her on FaceTime and he's decided she must be posting pictures or sending pics to some dude or multiple dudes. Whoa.
Dumb.
I tried to blow it off and explain that it wasn't that way, but he got more aggressive about it, so I ended up yelling at him and shouting the insecure testicle man baby thing. Let's just get that quote again.
Love
insecure, testicle grabbing, chauvinist man baby. So he's being ridiculous and needs to mind his own business, but I think I might be the asshole for blowing up and name calling. I want to add too, my mom and brother both asked, maybe other people will. No, I haven't asked my wife why she's recently started wearing more makeup, and I'm not going to, because I think asking is fucking rude. She's spending her money on stuff for her face, and it's creative. I'm not going to be the dick that ruins someone's creative outlet by asking them to justify it or by insinuating there's a sinister motive behind it. It makes her happy, so I assume that's why. Asking why is dumb and insulting, in my opinion. AITA.
I mean, yeah. This is just funny to me because, like, I feel like if you were cheating, like, no guy is going to be like, oh, man, she's the best contour. Like, I want to hit that. They do not give a fuck or notice.
Well, Sarah, but yeah, we still go, oh, me likey. Me like, me think good. I mean, it does work. It's hot.
But it sounds like she's just, like, experimenting to do, like, fun stuff.
Well, the one thing I can say on the other side, I think this is kind of a no-brainer, but why it's not rude to ask and say like, "Hey, babe, why? I'm just curious. I noticed you're putting on a lot more makeup lately. What's that all about? What? You can't fucking ask that."
I don't think it's rude to ask, but also it kind of seems like he already knows the answer, so it doesn't really seem like he needs to ask.
Yeah, she's just having fun with it. I mean, she obviously was into it in the past, so yeah, it doesn't really even seem like there's a question. You're right.
Yeah, that's like the vibe that I got, to be honest. And I feel like asking is not rude. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's just kind of like she might be like, "Well, you already know."
Yeah, she's like, because I like it, and I used to be a model, local. She always says local.
Local
Used
parentheses.
To be a model, local.
Yeah.
Jenny L writes, sounds like your brother might be on the autism spectrum, and it sounds like your wife is having fun with an old hobby of hers. NTA, look up Asperger's.
I'm not going to sit here and like armchair diagnose someone.
Weird.
I'm going to go with, that was like one of the top comments, I think, too, but I'm not going to sit here and diagnose someone. I don't think we have any way to really say that from what we have
it's
so
certainly...
far.
I don't know. I don't know that one of the symptoms of Asperger's, it's definitely being socially inept, but is it randomly insulting a woman and accusing her of cheating? That seems
I'm going to go with no. I don't think that one's in the DSM.
No. I think that's a little off the canon there.
For sure.
Chelsea V, NTA, the woman has 3 kids and probably got lost in motherhood. She's finally getting back to something she loves and makes her feel good. Your brother should mind his own business and not make such severe accusations.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have... You know what? If he had noticed it, if that was where his mind went, he wanted to just ask just to make sure. Okay. But it's like, why do you need to really belabor the point? Like, what's that? That's unnecessary.
Makes no sense. Makita D, it's so refreshing to see this attitude toward your spouse. I don't know. I guess. I guess in this group, all we ever see is like, I hate my wife.
Literally. So much.
Nice.
That's why it was nice to see someone go on and on and on about how they respect their wife. Like, you don't see it enough in this group.
You don't. Athena S, quote, I think asking is fucking rude, unquote. Where do you guys like this grow? I'm asking for a friend.
Asking about not asking for a friend, aka myself.
Right. I mean, I don't really understand why asking is rude. I guess it just depends how you do it. If it was like shitty and you're like, why are you putting on so much makeup? Well, then yeah. But if you're just like, what's with the makeup thing?
Yeah, it's not rude.
I almost think it's polite. I think being asked questions and showing interest in people is polite. So I mean, if you're shitty about it, then you're being shitty. But I don't think it's rude. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he says insinuating negative things. Yeah, if it's like...
Yeah, that's obviously rude.
What's the real reason you're wearing this makeup?
Who are you trying to impress?
Exactly. That's shitty.
Yeah.
Top Reddit comment, top 30 of all time usernames, Mistress of Necropolis.
Love that.
NTA,
I would watch that movie.
I love that. There we go. NTA, when I wear makeup, I do it for me. No, not my husband or any other man. Many women are the same way. Your brother jumping to, quote, she wants to cheat because she's wearing makeup again is misogynistic garbage and he needed a dressing down. You sound great and seem to really love and appreciate your wife and understand what being supportive means. I don't know if I buy this, Sarah. Women say this. I did it for me. I did it for me. Really? You did it for you? So just for when you look in the mirror is the only reason you did that? I don't know about that.
Yikes. You don't really think that people can have internal validation? Because that is definitely a thing.
I mean, you're telling me that, well, do you ever do this?
Yeah.
Just
First of
for
all,
you.
the very real aspect of I'm literally not seeing anyone. Barely. So, I mean, yeah, sometimes I just want to look cute so that I can feel cute. Not so that
And you're not
anyone
posting
else
a
can see me as
selfie
cute.
Or you're not posting a selfie or nothing?
How often do you see me post selfies?
I mean, I'm asking. Can I ask? So you're telling me, help me understand. You actually will do your makeup and then look at yourself in the mirror, and that's why you did it, and not post a selfie or see no one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, or just try things out. Like if this woman has like all these intense palettes, she's just trying different techniques.
Right. And
That's
why are
fun.
you trying different things?
See if you can do it.
What
to
looks
practice.
Yes, to practice. And what are you practicing for the real show? For when you're going to go see people?
Maybe, maybe not. But like the act of practicing isn't like, oh, I'm practicing so that a man is going to find me attractive.
Or women. I think women wear makeup for women too.
I guess. I mean, I feel like we've had this conversation before, and like I don't really feel like going there, but it's just like people can do things for themselves. It's like, why do I work out? I work out because it makes me feel better. I don't work out so that someone's going to check me out later. You can say the same about makeup. You can say the same about doing your hair.
Yeah, but but the makeup, I'm like, what are you looking at yourself in the mirror? Whereas, I like to tan, but I actually like the feeling of being in the sun.
Yeah, but like doing makeup is fun. It's like, it's almost like painting, but it's on your own face.
Right. See, that makes more sense to me. That makes way more sense to say, oh, well, it's like painting. Then I get it more.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a skill, so it's fun to try to hone that skill. I'm bad at it, but...
Okay. I'm on board. AITA for calling my brother an insecure testicle grabber over his comments about my wife's makeup. I think we agree wholeheartedly. Not the asshole and your brother is.
Big time.
It's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, Danny's self-help book review. Just kidding. AITA for fighting over pizza. My sister went out and bought us frozen pizza. She's trying to eat less meat, so she got a spinach one for her and one with mushroom and pepperoni for me. The issue arose when she got back and told me that the spinach one was just for her. Backstory: I rarely buy frozen za, but when I do, it's spinach. I told her I was going to have some of the spinach one, and she got upset because she had bought the other one thinking of me. Thing is, I really like the spinach pizza. Also, not a huge pepperoni fan. Damn, why does this submission feel so long already? When we get fresh pizza, the go-to meat is chicken. And recently I started venturing into sausage, but not pepperoni. How old are you, OP? You're venturing into sausage, motherfucker? You haven't had sausage pizza? Are you fucking 10?
Oh my God.
Where were you?
I was like, the sister doesn't know her at all.
This is crazy. What's
getting
going
pepperoni,
on?
Then this person has never eaten pepperoni? Like, why is this happening?
Why is this happening? This reminds me of those BuzzFeed videos. Like, people try McDonald's for the first time, and it's like, don't give them McDonald's. Take them to a fucking psych ward. There's something wrong. They're aliens.
Okay.
Anyway. Also... Last time she bought frozen pizza, she bought spinach and another meat, and we split both 50-50. God, this is exhausting. I remember having a convo at that time.
Long of a submission.
It feels long, Sarah, because it's like, I've never had sausage pizza. I'm getting into sausage. I'm experimenting with sausage. Has anyone heard of sausage before? What is sausage?
Oh my God.
They split it 50-50 before, everyone. They remember having a conversation at the time about how much I love the spinach pizza. What kind of conversation was that? I love spinach pizza.
Listen, we spend our free time talking about cookies, so we are in no place to judge their conversations about spinach pizza.
I'm talking about the cookie fucking paradigm. I'm not here like I'm venturing into chocolate chips. No. So they had a conversation about how much OP loves spinach pizza and would get a bunch when they were on sale. She remembers it as me saying I love them, meaning the spinach pizza, and not knowing if that meant the brand or the type. That's how she remembered it. Okay, so OP said I love them, and then sister's like, oh, she means the brand, not the spinach pizzas.
Fair.
I told her that while that was nice, she thought of me, she ultimately made the wrong choice because that's not the type of pizza I would buy for myself. It's stupid, but we got into an argument over it, ending with me getting 25% of the spinach and 100% of the meat lover. I'm perfectly fine splitting 50-50. And she's not vegetarian, just deciding not to eat the meat one, AITA.
Wait, how is this a compromise? It's like, yeah, so we argued it and compromised, and I just got some of her pizza.
I don't fucking like. All right, I actually have. I feel like, first of all, OP, I don't know what's wrong with you, but this is such a fucking nothing. Just eat your fucking
so
pizza.
What? Oh my God, every single AITA submission can't be like, AITA for cutting my kid off after they left their toys out one too many times. Like, okay, fine. Yeah. This has low stakes. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. I actually like it.
No, but it's not even that the stakes are low. It's that the fucking... the details here are so fucking inane where I'm just like, well, she remembers that you like the brand. Like, why are you making a case about this, OP? So she got the wrong pizza. You're still willing to eat it. So eat it.
I don't know. I think just because they got into an argument, but it seems like they got into an argument over a misunderstanding. Once they realized it was a misunderstanding, that kind of should have been the end of the argument. And like, just pick the pepperoni off the pizza. That's it. It doesn't even have to be an argument.
Exactly. It's just like, she bought it. She went out and bought it. So you say, after you're finished eating, or not even, why even bring it up? That's the thing. You should have just not brought it up. And then next time you say, hey, could you get me spinach? Like, why do you need to fucking bring this up right now? Because you're fucking an annoying person. And I'm sorry. Thank you for submitting to the podcast. And I've done this before, OP. Don't think I think I'm better than you or anything like that. My friend made me steak. He made me steak on my birthday, and he made it extremely well done, this motherfucker, this psychopath. But I got all butthurt and mad. Sorry, I know you shouldn't say butthurt. That's very heteronormative and bad. But I was upset. I was upset.
I love that butthurt is where you're going to apologize, but not calling people a psychopath. That is funny.
Oh, well, what? Is a psychopath going to write in, oh, you're being insensitive, I'm actually a psychopath?
I mean, I've never really heard anyone complain about the phrase butthurt, but I definitely have heard people complain about people throwing around terms like psychopath.
Okay.
Which I do, for the record. I just didn't think that was where you would...
I guess I thought butthurt was kind of a gay, like you're kind of alluding to a gay insult or something. I don't know.
I've never actually heard of that. I just never really thought of it and kind of thought it was maybe like you fell on your ass and now your butt hurt. I don't know.
Oh, that actually kind of makes more sense because it hurts a lot if you like hurt your tailbone.
Yeah, it does, right?
What the fuck is butt hurt? Now I have to Google butt hurt. Okay, it's on dictionary.com. Mental distress or irritation caused by an overreaction to a perceived personal slight, a bad outcome.
Yeah, we just need the etymology of butthurt.
Can we please stop using the term butthurt, reports Elfidi on Persephone magazine, Women, Pop Culture News, Unicorns.
What?
Is the word horribly offensive? Kind of, she writes. Typically used to sarcastically or ridicule someone who's whining about something they don't like. The term implies less of, quote, pain in the ass, I sat on something unpleasant, and something far more sexist and homophobic.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's what she thinks, but I don't know now, because what would
be sexist about it then?
It hinges on domination and anal rape, which is primarily a male device, but it's also homophobic. I'm pretty sure that gay men don't think the threat of anal rape is hilarious, writes this author.
I don't think anyone finds that funny.
I think it's a stretch.
Whoa.
Lena Dunham tweeted, also just checking in, she writes, without Googling, I'm pretty sure butthurt is a homophobic term, and if not, I decided it was so no one can use it ever. Oh my God. Sounds legit. However, we also have a Scandinavian version referring to the vibe after having been spanked as punishment. Jonathan.
I literally Googled where does butthurt come from. The top result says it originates from spanking. Quora says it comes from the slang term anal.
Interesting.
Hard to tell. KnowYourMeme.com says it also originates from spanking. And we all know KnowYourMeme.com is the authority on all language origins.
Know your meme is the modern day Bible. Do not refute me.
Move over, Oxford Dictionary.
Anyway, OP, I'm sorry I got mad at you. And listen, I just think you're making a fucking mountain out of a sausage pizza here. Just eat the pizza. It didn't have to be that big of a deal. Oceana W even, I think, sees eye to eye to me. Damn, quarantine really getting to y'all, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Stevie R, Jesus, they'll let anyone submit these days. We do. We
literally do. I mean, within reason, but like, it doesn't have to be the most dramatic submission to get in.
No,
it just has to be coherent and not hate speech.
It is coherent. I like you, OP. I like you. In fact, if we hung out, I would get you your spinach frozen pizza. Vivian M, ESH here. You both made assumptions without talking to each other. How hard was it to just ask what pizza you would each like before she bought them? Why would that make sisters? No way.
That's
Sorry,
true,
OP.
I don't think that makes her the asshole. Like, she made an assumption, but she made an assumption while she was trying to do something nice. And OP just made an assumption based on, like, a throwaway convo they had a long time ago. That was misunderstood.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Update via OP. The roasting on the FB group, ouch, but I get it. I didn't end up eating the spinach pizza, but I accept my verdict. ITA. Well, the OP, I'm proud of you, and I recommend a sentence of time served. I yelled at you.
Pizza served. That's it.
Pizza served. AITA for fighting over the pizza. I think we agree YTA, right?
Yes, YTA.
Well, guys, that's the episode. I hope no one's butthurt, and I'm going to try to stop saying the P word since apparently that's offensive. I get how that... I mean, I think everyone wields these psychological terms like weapons, and it should be avoided, but it's just hard, you know? It's hard because psychopath, it just kind of lands, you know?
Yes.
Is psychopath offensive? Psychology Today, when others don't like the P word.
I mean, there is just like a growing movement of people being like, you shouldn't be throwing around mental health terms like willy-nilly, like slinging them as insults. I can agree on an intellectual level that can help contribute to a negative stigma. That's it.
Absolutely. And I also would say that there's probably someone whose name is willy-nilly and really struggles to be taken seriously.
You're right.
I'm willy-nilly and I am sick. I am sick of no one taking me seriously. I'm a cookie consultant. Please, people.
Well, you have fun with that.
I will. Guys, follow me on Twitter @HolyDuck. I need your love and attention. I'm very sad. Follow Sarah. Sarah's killing it. She doesn't need your support. Sarah Meme, LESARALEMEME. Give us 5 stars on iTunes and all that. Join us on Patreon. And we'll see you next Monday morning.